Rachel, what's up, Rach? Got on here a little earlier, so we'll wait for some of the gang to make their way over here. What did you enjoy most about Raw tonight, Rachel? I gotta say that main event was exciting, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of what I enjoyed. I love seeing Penta get that win. Penta and Pete Dunne had a good one. What's up, gang? Welcome in. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the like as well. Greatly appreciate the thumbs up. We're gonna get started in a few minutes with the official Monday Night Raw review over here on Turnbuckle Topics. The main event. Okay. Oh, you changed your pick. What? You got you got a Roman Reigns in your profile again. The OTC there, Rachel. So we're gonna get started, guys, in a couple of minutes. Again, for those that just came over from TikTok, welcome. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and we'll get started in a few. But I would like to know, what was your favorite moment or match, segment, whatever, of Monday Night Raw? We finally found out we have a women's match taking place this Saturday in San Antonio, Texas. Saturday night's main event. We got Rhea Ripley, presumably defending her Women's World Championship against Nia Jax. I believe the title's on the line. Then we got Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman, Intercontinental Championship match. Braun Breaker defending against Sheamus. Can Sheamus get it done? I don't think so, but I would love that. And then we have a World Heavyweight Championship match. Main event, Jey Uso going up against the Ring General Gunther. And we also got Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens contract signing with Shawn Michaels. San Antonio, Texas's very own. So that's going to be fun for their ladder match at the Royal Rumble taking place. So I'm excited for Monday and Roman. Hope he still be there next week. They didn't announce it. So, yeah, hopefully they kept the mystique of it, right? Going forward there, Rachel. Do you, Riley? That's very kind of you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Hopefully you love me enough that you're subscribing. Hopefully you guys that are joining me, especially coming over from TikTok, watch along. Be sure to hit the subscribe button here on what platform am I on? YouTube. Sorry, went from TikTok earlier. Now I'm on YouTube, going live now. I used to go live on TikTok after every Raw, SmackDown, but moving things over here for the reviews, presumably for the foreseeable future. So we're gonna get started in 2 minutes, guys. Again, hit that thumbs up as soon as you get here. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're gonna go over Monday Night Raw. What I want to know from you guys is, thanks, Rye. What I want to know from you guys is, what was your favorite moment or favorite part of Monday Night Raw tonight? I'll let you know mine throughout the course of this review, but what did you like most from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas tonight? So I actually heard somebody in the watch along on TikTok was hoping that the Hardys were going to show up tonight, and I get it. I get why, because they were at TNA Genesis. They had a match last night. Obviously, that took place in Garland, Texas, so that would have been cool. I do think we see the Hardys at some point in time, especially with that TNA partnership now on WWE television this year, whether it's NXT or whatnot. So we'll see. You gotta remember, there's a picture that surfaced last night with the Hardys and Fraxium, looking at each other with their respective tag titles. So we'll see. But Fraxium, after this Thursday, they might not even have the tag titles. They have a match this Thursday, a live episode of TNA Impact, where they'll defend against the Rascals, Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. Man, I don't know. I like Fraxium, but I'm pulling for TNA on this one. I'd love to see the Rascals get some NXT gold. I think that'd be a good way to start off the partnership. I'm doing good, Kara. How we doing? How we doing tonight? Let's see. Let's see here. Rachel says, and Cody's going to be there next week. Yes, that's right. It's everything between Kevin Owens and Sammy throughout the match. Let's see here. Through to Penta match. Okay, well, we'll catch you up to speed, Miss J. And again, thank you for being a big part of that TikTok watch along earlier. So, guys, we're going to get started right now. Again, thank you for joining me on YouTube, especially those that came over from TikTok, where I've been the last several months, for my post-show reviews of Raw and SmackDown and such. So I'm going to be here every Monday and Friday, guys, after Raw and SmackDown. A full review. Again, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up as soon as you get in here. It's greatly appreciated. And keep the comments going in here. Amongst one another, to myself, I'll get to you when I can throughout this review. So tonight we had Michael Cole alongside SmackDown announcer Wade Barrett. Pat McAfee had a prior obligation. And I like it. I've always liked Michael Cole and Wade Barrett together. Wade Barrett seems to pretty much work anywhere. I'm a big fan of Wade Barrett's work on commentary the last 2 years, whether it was alongside Vic Joseph on NXT, Michael Cole on Raw or SmackDown, alongside Joe Tessitore on Raw or now SmackDown, where he is at now. So I like Corey Graves, don't get me wrong, but I could kind of see why they kept Wade Barrett with Tessitore on SmackDown. They gel good. So if it ain't, it's the old method. If it ain't broke, why, don't fix it. So Let's see here. My cat just looked the screen. Wow, Rachel. Well, maybe your cat was trying to, give the live an extra like or something. Or you're gonna have to give your cat their own YouTube account so they can help support the show as well. So, thank you, thank you. So again, we get to see JBL later in the night, as I mentioned on TikTok. Watch along just before when JBL was back on commentary, which I really used to love him on SmackDown and so on a few years back. I know there was the whole controversies with him and Mauro Ranallo and all that back in the day, but I like JBL on commentary. So when Michael Cole, Wade Barrett, and JBL were on commentary for that one match tonight, I really enjoyed that three man booth specifically. So again, we're going to go over the Saturday night main event card at the end of this show. We find out we have a women's match, Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax for the women's world title. So that's good stuff. And so we're going to open up things here in Dallas, Texas, with Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso and Gunther. It was a pretty cool segment that we had here. So I love the fact that when the show opened, Jey Uso made his way through the crowd as he usually does, Shield style. And, there's a little kid with a Jey Uso shirt. It looked like he was with his dad, also wearing Jey Uso gear. And he had him doing the whole dancing bit, bouncing around, the whole yeet bit with the crowd. So that was really cool. That kid's got that forever now on video. Obviously, I'm sure his dad recorded it, and even on TV, they showed them in the stairway doing that for a good 5 to 7 seconds. So that was dope, man. That was cool. He definitely got his price of admission, got his money's worth tonight. And so Jey gets in the ring. He's basically foreshadowing what's going to take place this Saturday at Saturday night's main event. And it was immediately interrupted by, I know, Miss J's favorite, Miss J in the chat here, the ring general Gunther. Interrupted him immediately. Gets in the ring, calls Jey a funny little man. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if that was their opening line towards me, I wouldn't take it so good. So I like what Jey Uso clapped back with, though, a little bit after that, which led to a confrontation between the two. I was laughing at Michael Cole dancing. Yeah, look, Rachel, I know I've never, you guys have seen me on TikTok a lot, but I've never danced, and nor will I ever, because it's not really my thing. But dare I say, I have a little better rhythm than Michael Cole, but he is entertaining. I'll give him that. He's a little uncoordinated, to say the least, but he is fun to watch. Pat McAfee clearly got him, loosened up on commentary. So what we did here, shortly after Gunther called Jey Uso a funny little man, Jey Uso went on to say, you will put some respect on my name come this Saturday night during our World Championship match. And Jey says, there's only one of us that main evented WrestleMania, and it ain't you. So that was good. I like that. That was good. Quick, to the point. This wasn't an overblown promo. There was no need for it. Open up the show with something fun, funny, yet serious at the same time amongst the two of them. And so that was good. Immediately, Gunther attacked Jey Uso. This ends with Uso then firing back with a super kick, knocking Gunther out of the ring. And Jey's lip was bloodied at the end of this. I guess when Gunther hit him at one point, I didn't see where that took place, but so that was fun. That was a fun opening segment. Nia did to Rhea in backstage. Yeah, we'll talk about Nia and Rhea a little bit. Glad you liked that one there, Rachel. So Kathy Kelly was with Bayley backstage. She went and declared that she's officially back on Monday Night Raw. As a lot of us found out earlier today through social media, we kind of knew that's where it was going, right? We saw her on Raw last Monday. Granted, they were in San Jose or home city, so maybe we thought it was a one-off because of that. They teased Roxanne Perez ringside last week, I believe. And we would find out later in the show during her match with Nia Jax, talking about Bayley, that yet again, Roxanne Perez was ringside yet again for this. So it's going to be good stuff. We also, during the show, I know Netflix and WWE, they have to announce all these different sponsors and partners like they do with UFC and stuff. So they were promoting these 3 guys that were sitting behind the commentary table, PBR Tour bull riders. Now, I don't know anything about bull riding, nor am I looking to learn anything, but good for them. So they featured them. When they said PBR, I thought they were talking about Pabst Blue Ribbon, and that's usually not my drink of choice, so take that as you may. But anyway, we moved on from the guys in the cowboy hats. I get it. They were in Texas, so be it. But the only guy in a cowboy hat that I wanted to see tonight was JBL. So maybe I'm speaking for the masses. Maybe some of you like bull riding, but so be it. New Day and JBL, speaking of which, had a backstage exchange, which I thought was incredible earlier in the night. Basically exchanging backhanded compliments to one another. New Day had a lot to say about JBL, about cutting, loose weight and all this other stuff, basically getting rid of Big E like he did to become a great single superstar and all that. They tucked a couple of singles in his pocket, right? They went and did that. And then JBL had something for them. He said, look, I get it, Big E. He had all the muscles. He had all the charisma. And now look, now they have nothing left but to look at you. You know, they used to love New Day rocks. Now they're back to yelling New Day sucks like it's 2014 again. When they first initially, if you remember the New Day when they started off, guys, they were heels, right? They were pretty disliked heels for about a year and a half. And then sometime around 2016, early 2016, Bootios came out and everybody was buying them off the shelves at FYE or wherever they could buy their $13 box of cereal. I was one of them. Look, I'll be honest, I was one of them. I got them back here signed and everything. So I was one of those guys, but I love the New Day. I really do. But so I love what JBL brought to this. And then we found out that after this, JBL was going to be sitting ringside with Michael Cole and Wade Barrett again, which I thought was a fantastic three-man booth. Dare I say, I would have loved listening to the three of them throughout the course of this night, because when Wade Barrett or Michael Cole, like any announced team, tend to taper off at times or whenever there's a dull moment, it's nice to have that third person on commentary to keep things enjoyable. And with the commentary, quite literally, of Michael Cole and JBL and Wade Barrett, it was fun. Not every three-man booth is going to work well. We know this. It's been well documented. We could say we get back to 7 years ago or so. Corey Graves, Jonathan Coachman, they didn't gel well. It's been well documented Coachman reminds us all the time on social media, especially with the whole Corey Graves controversy last week, right? But Wade Barrett, JBL, you can tell they get along. Right? And if they don't, they surely make it seem like they do. So I loved what we saw with them and Michael Cole. That was a lot of fun. So next up, we would have Rey Mysterio, leader of the LWO, going up against Kofi Kingston. Again, JBL made his way out. That was awesome. Again, Michael Cole, man, like Rachel said, just unhinged these days, dancing around. But you got to love it. 28 years in the business. I'm assuming he's going to be commentating this weekend for Saturday night's main event. It's in Michael Cole's hometown of San Antonio, Texas. Why wouldn't he? So that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool. And by the way, they said that this is going to be Rey Mysterio's 15th Royal Rumble match. That's incredible. We would also find out more men and women that were added to the Rumble this year, which I'm going to get to in just a minute, guys. So we're going to talk about this Rey Mysterio match for a moment here, going up against Kofi Kingston. But before I do that, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, please do so. I appreciate you being here. Again, quite a few of you in here. Please hit that thumbs up button. Goes a long way, believe you me. And feel free to keep commenting in the chat. What was your favorite moment of the night? Maybe did you care for this Rey Mysterio, Kofi opening match and such? And what are your thoughts? Bailey on Monday Night Raw and all that good stuff. So feel free to chime in. So we're going to jump to late in this match. Now, referee Chad Patton ended up tossing Xavier Woods from this match. And that was because he tripped up Rey Mysterio as he was going to make an attempt at a 619. Kingston went for the boom drop shortly thereafter, but Rey was able to keep him down for the 1-2-3. Rey got the win, but there was a post-match attack. 2-on-1, obviously, the New Day going after Rey Mysterio. LWO members, Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro, come to make the save. It worked out briefly. That was until, I forget if it was Woods or Kofi or both, but they ended up throwing Joaquin Wilde into the ring post. And so that left Cruz del Toro looking after his tag team partner as that match wrapped up. So I assume going forward, I don't think it was advertised, but probably as early as next week or the week after that, we're probably going to get Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods in a tag team match going up against the LWO, which the New Day will likely win. Because when do you ever see the LWO, those two members specifically, featured on WWE TV? I think I read something the other day, like Dragon Lee hasn't had a match, a TV match in like 2.5 months. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know where Dragon Lee and Zelina Vega were tonight. It would have been nice to have them come out and help too. They could have certainly used it. So that was that. But fun match. Very, very, very good match with Kofi and Rey. There was, I don't know. I mean, there were certain spots during that match as well, especially on Kofi's behalf earlier on. I get it. He's a heel. But there was a lot of sloppiness, I noticed, throughout tonight, at least within the first hour and a half throughout the course of these matches. But I don't know what that was about. We then would go to a backstage segment with Kathy Kelly with Chad Gable. Gable's still frustrated with his loss last week to Penta. And Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, he references all these luchadors, right, that he's lost to and he's frustrated with. And he says, but it's okay, because Dominic Mysterio is going to help him with this luchador problem. So we'll see. We'll see Dom later in the night. Ivy Nile goes on to say that she's going after the Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, Lyra Valkyria holds that. And she made me a believer. Regardless of what I think about Lyra Valkyria's actual chances in that match, she made me a believer. Now, the Creed brothers, they said they want the World Tag Team titles to take them off the War Raiders and whatnot. Now, here's the thing, right? Like, I love the Creed brothers as far as wrestling ability, but as far as how they've transitioned into a heel gimmick the last several months, they're in a weird spot. I guess they're just not fully comfortable yet in this whole heel bit. They're also trying to be a little funny, maybe like Chad Gable. You know, at least Ivy Nile, she might crack a smile once in a while, but Ivy Nile is very serious. She handles her business and that's it. She's there for her group and that's it. Chad Gable's hysterical. His dry sense of humor is second to none. And so I feel like the Creed brothers are trying to gather that up as well, and it's just not resonating, not with me at least. So again, a duo that I think is great in the ring, could easily be tag team champions any given day, but not a tag team that I want to see win the tag team titles yet, mainly because they haven't convinced me quite enough yet that their heel character is on par to do so. Like to have a strong title defense. Again, character work is a big part of this whole thing. We know more than half, vast majority of these people are legitimate wrestlers who deserve every opportunity they get, right, on the main stage, but doesn't mean you deserve gold. You got to make us care. And I don't care about the Creed brothers' current position. So that's it. That's how I felt about that bit. Soon we are going to jump into the Sami Zayn making his way out. Had a little interaction with KO, which I loved, and totally went away that I didn't think it would go. But I like this approach for KO and Sammy. I think this is a good way to go. So Rachel says Finn's not going to be happy with Dom taking his spot. Not at all. We're definitely going to discuss that for sure. Now, speaking of somebody not feeling comfortable in their own skin at times, we're talking about the Creed brothers. Let's move over to Karrion Kross with Scarlett. Now, I know some of you, I guess I have the ad-free Netflix. I didn't even know I did. So I'm getting to see a lot of interviews that I typically would not see, that the vast majority that doesn't or has ads isn't seeing. But I'll mention a few of them throughout. Karrion Kross, he was with Scarlett, of course, his wife, his valet, his manager. And first of all, I don't know where AOP has been. So again, what's going on? Where's AOP? And I get it. If they're not going to have any kind of on-screen, on-air time, why waste your time? Why make the flight? Why do all these things? So no AOP, Paul Ellering. I'm not sure what's going on for the future of Final Testament. I really don't. But Karrion Kross, Scarlett looked phenomenal tonight. Scarlett really rarely has a bad night. I don't think she ever has, right? It's just good or great. But Scarlett looked great. Now, I know this is not something Karrion Kross would like to hear from me, but Scarlett has too good of a look, especially in a heel sense. It worked for Karrion Kross in NXT, but Scarlett has too good of a look as a manager, valet, whatever you want to call it, reference her as, to just be with a floundering Karrion Kross. She needs to be with an outright savage heel. I'm talking main eventer, champion, you name it. So I hate to see Scarlett go down the way she has because of her significant other. I know that sounds messed up, but again, this is a character thing. I'm not buying into what Karrion Kross is selling, and I like him. Again, I do. I like a lot of these talents, think they're phenomenal workers, but again, if I'm not immersed into your storyline, into your character, I just can't care, and I don't know why anybody would. Why would you want to watch subpar TV? Because I know I don't. Our time is too valuable. So I would love Scarlett with someone else. I know they're probably not going to do that. I don't know, Scarlett with a returning Aleister Black or something like that. Not saying he needs a manager, but I need somebody who's going to be on a mission, a warpath, dangerous. Aleister Black has a very spooky aura like Karrion Kross had in NXT, right? I think most of you would agree. They both had phenomenal theme music in NXT as well. Aleister Black brought that over to the main roster. Karrion Kross brought his over for a little bit. But yeah, so I don't know, man. That's just my 2 cents. Basically, talking about a few things, possibly going after Sami Zayn. Now, they talked about the Wyatts going to SmackDown, and correct me if I'm wrong, they didn't know where The Miz was tonight either, but I thought they also said last week as to why Karrion Kross confronted The Miz, saying, did you have something to do with this? Because last week they were mentioning that Karrion Kross was going to be making his way to SmackDown as well. So is he no longer going to SmackDown? Is he staying on Raw? I don't know. But either way, it doesn't matter where he goes if they're not really going to do anything with his character. And a large part of it really depends on the individual. Again, I think Karrion Kross has, I really think Karrion's been trying. Why would he get these opportunities and not try? I feel like Karrion Kross is really searching for who he is. That's my 2 cents on it. But let me see here. CM Punk said, I'm going to eliminate 29 superstars at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I did see that. New Day Sable. Yeah, absolutely, Miss J. New Day Sable. And there's even something that's caught my attention even more than Sable, if that's even possible. I know. There's something, you know what it is? Sable, for the most part, the majority of her career in WWE, she was showcased I won't say properly or appropriately, that might not be politically correct, but she was showcased, right? And she got the TV time, whether it was with Triple H initially, if you remember that, or with the Wild Man Mark Mero or Marvelous Mark Mero, and then they split up, and that's when Jacqueline got involved. So, like, and then she did her own thing in wrestling and Sable Bomb and all that. So, Sable got that, I'm not saying Scarlett has to necessarily get into the wrestling realm of things. We know she is a wrestler, she does wrestle, but even from a managerial standpoint, I need to see her on TV more often like we did tonight, but knowing that she is with a guy that is a serious threat. You know what I mean? Not somebody that's wishy-washy. I really miss it. What's up there, Santos? Good seeing you, my friend. Welcome in, guys. Again, thank you for the subscribing, guys. For those that are in here, appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs up. Be sure to hit the like. And thank you for commenting and chiming in and sticking here with me for this Monday Night Raw review, guys. So let's move over to Sami Zayn. All right, Sami Zayn, he declared for the Royal Rumble, first of all. So let's get that out the way. Sami Zayn declared for the Royal Rumble. He reflects on his career as a pro wrestler pretty much and talks about, all those others that have declared already in the last couple of weeks. And one thing they all have in common, and that is that they have a World Heavyweight Championship to their name in some capacity. He then goes on to say, everybody except him out of the 7, 8, 9 guys. And now this whole segment pretty much felt like a shoot, but in the best way possible. I loved it. Even when KO came out, it got even better, believe it or not. Says he doesn't need the World Championship, but damn it, he wants it. He also goes on to say that the 14-year-old in him is still there every time he gets in that ring, and he's going to take it. So he's going to go out and win this Rumble. He's going to go out and take that, become a world champion before his career is all said and done. And I honestly hope he does. Obviously, he's made it made it abundantly clear, whether it's on WWE TV, whether it's in actual legitimate shoot interviews, whether it's Ariel Helwani or whatever, he's went on record to say, hey, who wouldn't want to be world champion? And he considers himself to be one of those top 7, 8, 9, 10 guys. So he has every right to feel the way he feels. He might not come off as the most exciting champion, but that's somebody that I would obviously, like a lot of us would love to see Chad Gable win a singles title, especially in the mid-card. I would love to see Sammy, before his career's up, going ahead and get that championship. So, what's up, Nas? Show was born to be live, the CM Punk promo. Yeah, definitely by process of elimination. The first 2 shows, they were so hot and on fire. This show on Netflix definitely fell at third, but I thought it was collectively a good show. I'd probably give it a 7.5, 7.5. Again, there was some stuff to really take away from here, but again, nothing earth-shattering if you missed it. So let's insert Kevin Owens right here, guys. Kevin Owens, he then shows up. His music hits. Comes out with his Winged Eagle title. You can't tell him he's not the champion, right? Because he's going up against Cody Rhodes this Saturday. Or not this Saturday, at Royal Rumble. Saturday, they sign the contract, right? That's where Shawn Michaels is going to take their respective titles and hoist it up a weekend later for that ladder match. So I'm excited for that. Comes out, KO says, pretty much, I understand, you forgave Roman Reigns, just like you forgave me for the many times, I deceived you, hurt you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And he says, bottom line, Sami Zayn, he goes, you're just a good guy. And Sammy was surprised to hear this because Sammy, when KO came out, Sammy's like, how are we going to do this? Like, we just going to brawl? Like, what's going to happen? I know you're not happy with me teaming up with Roman, being on the same team with CM Punk nonetheless. So all those things, all those variables. KO then would go on to say, Sammy can and will win the Royal Rumble. He says, I know you will. KO then says they main evented WrestleMania 39 together and won the tag team titles. And when you win the Royal Rumble, we can get a main event at WrestleMania as long as he also leaves as the WWE champion come the Royal Rumble, obviously. And KO says we've got each other's backs. Obviously, KO is playing some form of mind games. KO is being very insincere. Let's be honest. It sounded great. KO talks a good game. We all know that. KO is obviously fuming inside about the whole him aligning himself for War Games and stuff like that with Roman and company. He says, Sammy, as my brother, I know you will be there. Basically making sure he secures that victory over Cody Rhodes at the Royal Rumble. So we all know that's not going to happen. I don't, somebody asked me on the TikTok watch along, do I foresee Sami Zayn turning on, Cody Rhodes or helping KO win the title? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And we know, just like we saw in the main event tonight, whenever Sammy tries to help who he wants to help out, whether it's a good guy, a bad guy, it usually goes south. Just like tonight, he meant to hit Drew, and he accidentally hit Seth Rollins with a massive haluva kick to end the show, which left Seth very upset. So, which could be the reason why Seth turns full heel. So we'll see. But anyway, that was pretty much how that wrapped up between the two of them. So I did enjoy that. Yeah, so I don't see Sammy. Yeah, I just saw your question, Mr. J. Yeah, so I do not see Sammy turning heel. I'd be very surprised. Santos goes on to say, I love how WWE still plays to the fact Sammy and KO of history. So important, right, Santos? So important. How many times do they think that we just forget everything that transpired, whether it was 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years ago, or 12 years ago? A lot of these companies at times over the years have played us like we're dummies. And it's like, no, pick up with what happened, whether it was on NXT. And sometimes now they'll even talk about their past, whether it's Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling, PWG, wherever. So I love that. I love that. It really brings in that sense of realism, and it's so needed, especially with relationships and feuds like this. So that was good. We then got a backstage segment here. Sheamus was with Kathy Kelly. It was interrupted by Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker. Again, they have a match at Saturday night's main event as well. Obviously, I'd love to see Sheamus win that IC title. Who knows if and when he'll win it, but it won't be next Saturday or this Saturday. I'll tell you that. Braun Breaker says this is as close as you'll get to the Intercontinental title. And I'd have to agree. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but, again, love me some Sheamus, man, but that's how I see it. So now we were at the 9 o'clock hour. We had a Nia Jax versus Bayley match coming up right here. We had Roxanne Perez, who was ringside again, second consecutive week, right, since Bayley's been on Raw. Again, she's on Raw full time now. And they were talking about Bayley at the Royal Rumble last year. She went 1 hour, 3 minutes from the number 3 spot. Bayley, obviously the winner of the 2024 Royal Rumble, went on to face Io at WrestleMania and won the Women's Championship. You know the deal. So she had a great 2024, much like Tiffany Stratton did. They also went on to say that this is Nia and Bayley's 14th meeting. Nia leads this feud 7-6. She would add to that, but we'll get to that at the end of the match. And also, they were opponents this year at SummerSlam and Bad Blood. Obviously, SummerSlam, August 3rd, was where Nia Jax became champion, right? I think that was where she had won it from Bayley. And so, and both of these women are declared for the Royal Rumble. So they also went on to say that Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley are tied for the most overall eliminations in the Royal Rumble at 20. So how about that? I'll jump to about mid-match here as I get to a couple of comments. Scott's son now wants to train. Yes, Scott Steiner. I read that last week, Santos, about he kind of buried the hatchet with Triple H, and his son is in the NIL program officially, right? So that's a big deal. You missed that match? Okay, Miss J. Well, we're going to get to that. Again, a lot of the matches were a little sloppy tonight. Again, I've given Nia Jax a lot of credit since her return 2 years ago, but this was a little bit of a sloppy match. A few times I thought she was really going to, she actually kind of landed on Bayley's arm. I thought she was going to injure her, or did injure her, but we'll get to that. Again, guys, thank you for subscribing here on YouTube. If you haven't, please do so. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Also, check that out. And again, I'm here Mondays and Fridays, immediately following Raw and SmackDown, full reviews of the show. So thank you for those of you who have made your way over from TikTok as well. I did a little watch along earlier, but it's great to see you guys here. Well, it's Nia. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely hit us with a throwback Nia tonight, Miss J. Dangerous looking out there. So look, Bayley knocked down Roxanne Perez. She was ringside again. She knocked her down. Looked like Roxanne was trying to make her way over the barricade at that point, but security got her just in time. At this moment in time, Nia, pretty much took full advantage of the distracted Bayley with Roxanne. Obviously, we all know Bayley and Roxanne have to be the feud coming out of the Royal Rumble. I guess the bottom line is we know Roxanne's going to Raw. Do you guys think Roxanne eliminates Bayley? I think that's the best way to go, right? Roxanne Perez eliminates Bayley from the Royal Rumble. Not only does she eliminate Bayley from the Royal Rumble this year, she eliminates the possibility of Bayley going back-to-back in the Royal Rumble. That's how I see it. You guys let me know in the comments. And also let me know what woman you have coming out of the Royal Rumble with the win. So Nia was really working on that left shoulder of Bayley. But we then would see a sunset flip where Bayley would toss Nia into the ring post on the apron. That was something not easy to do. Not easy to do with anybody, especially Nia Jax, if you know what I mean. We then would see a sunset flip powerbomb combination from the top rope by Bayley shortly thereafter, trying to put Nia away. After that, we then saw a flying elbow drop, her signature elbow drop by Bayley to Nia. That didn't work either. This would then lead to a pop-up Samoan drop, a senton. Third time's a charm. We then saw Nia hit her Annihilator for the win. So the series goes another win for Nia. Nia has 8 wins and 6 losses in this series, match 14 with Bailey over the years. And at this moment in time, Rhea Ripley's music would then hit. Let's see here. Nia is awful. Santos is not a Nia fan. I did know that. Rachel says, "Are you going to do NXT on TikTok tomorrow night?" Not as it stands, Rachel, because I'm looking to get some other stuff done for the channel, but possibly next Tuesday, because next Tuesday I know they're on the road in Georgia. I know that's when the women's tag team titles are defended. So stay tuned. Next Tuesday I very well might do so. Yeah, I hear you on that, Miss J, with the high flyers and such. Roxanne's great. Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso? What's up, Gabriel? Over the years, man, I've always resonated with Jimmy more, but I cannot deny the greatness that is Jey Uso right now, and just how over he is with the crowds. So, I don't know. Present day, I'll go with the popular Jey, but that takes nothing away from Jimmy, who had a phenomenal match with Carmelo Hayes on Friday on SmackDown. He was a lot of fun to watch. Yeah, the sloppiness is what gets me more than, her being slow of foot, Santos, as far as Nia is concerned. Again, guys, if you just hopped in here, be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up. Thank you. So Rhea Ripley then made her way out. She was seeking revenge on Nia for what happened prior to the show. I believe Nia attacked Rhea before the show started, Monday Night Raw. Crazy brawl ensued in and out of the ring. Rhea then would grab the microphone, get atop the commentary table. Wade Barrett had to collect his papers and beverage real quick before that spill. That's crucial. Gets on the mic and says, "You and me, Saturday night's main event," and now we got a rematch from Elimination Chamber 2024 out there in Australia. So that was a relatively decent match. I had to give her that. That's when last year, at least myself, maybe it's not a popular opinion, but that's when I said, "Oh, okay." I said, Nia's looking a lot different from her first run in the sense of Nia's actually putting together suitable matches, again, quote unquote, safer matches. Take that as you may. So, we'll see what happens. But that is the one and probably only women's match that is announced for Saturday night's main event. Again, it's a 4-match card. Plus, we have Cody and Kevin Owens contract signing with Shawn Michaels. So maybe at most one more match they'll add, but I think that may be it for Saturday. Here we would get Judgment Day with Chad Gable backstage. Dominic says, what if he goes, the long story short here was Dominic says to the group collectively, what if he was to replace the injured Finn Balor in that tag team title opportunity match to get those tag titles back, right? JD McDonough, Liv, they all pretty much agreed that collectively that's cool. Finn would be okay with it. We all know he wouldn't. Dom and Finn have not gotten along for months. So this is going to just add to more of them breaking apart, splitting, cracks in the foundation and all that stuff. Jay's amazing. I like the vibes. He has an amazing vibe. Yes, he does, Miss J. Penta, huge star if they use him correctly. Yeah, definitely. 2-0 so far. It's looking good. Gabriel, Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes? Like them both. Man. I'll give a slight edge to Roman Reigns for sure. But yeah, so remind me, guys, in the chat. I know with the watch along and stuff, I'd gotten a little distracted on TikTok with it, but there was a paper, right? There was a paper that, was it Dominic Mysterio had handed it to Chad Gable? Was that had happened? You guys could fill in the blanks there for what had happened there. Miss J said, hot take, Chad Gable is talking about bring in Aleister Black. Oh, okay. All right. Again, that's one guy I'm very much looking forward to and hoping for to see at the Royal Rumble. Don't mess with his theme music. Hopefully he could, if he's coming back, they could give him the same theme music he had in NXT in 2017, 2018, and even had on the main roster. Phenomenal entrance song. So I'm excited for that. Alistair and Melina have that training facility for Lucha Libre. Okay. Interesting. That is a good insight there, Miss J. Yeah, Alistair is amazing. And I'm very excited for his return to WWE. So now next up here, we would then have, after that whole segment, we would find out, well, first of all, we had a match between Pete Dunne and Penta. Amazing match. Again, I think I broke down it very clearly, his first match last week with him and Chad Gable, damn near spot for spot. So simply stated, we got another win for Penta here. Ends with the Penta driver for the win. Pete Dunne put on a great display. He's a great professional, as always. First time we've seen him in a while. Really growing out that beard there. Looks more grizzly than he ever looked, if that's even possible. But again, great match, and we'll see what's next for Penta. Again, he's going to garner at least, I don't know if he's going to go 10-0 and then continue his wins left and right. I'm sure, maybe he'll win 4 or 5 and then then maybe get into a notable back and forth feud where somebody really gets in his way and gives him problems and maybe even cheats to win. I could see that happening. Penta. I don't see Penta's first loss or two being clean, but we'll see what happens. Whether it's interference from a faction or somebody using a foreign object, I could see something like that taking place. We would then find out Logan Paul will be having his official Monday Night Raw debut next week, I believe. I don't know if they mentioned that he has a match or not, but I know he will be on Raw. They also said Judgment Day going up against the War Raiders for their tag team title opportunity. Dominic and JD, not Finn, so we'll see. Will Finn show up? I don't know. Roman Reigns is set to be scheduled. Again, I don't think they made mention of it tonight, but that's what was stated on the Raw Netflix debut on the 6th. Also, the rumor is being that they are in Georgia, right? That Goldberg may be there to set up something with Goldberg and Gunther. Could it be at the Rumble? Could it be at Elimination Chamber? Who knows? Who cares? Who cares, right? All due respect, I big fan of Goldberg in the late '90s. Loved him in WCW. But that was about it. It was nice to see him come back in 2016. He said he wanted to do it for his son. He took down Lesnar for a little bit. Lesnar got revenge and eventually won the title from him and all that. But outside of that 2016 run, I was good. All the years to follow after that, I did not need to see Goldberg. Never mind a Goldberg final match. Thank God it's being overshadowed by the John Cena retirement tour. That's all I got to say about that. It was a great match. It was a great match, Santos. Pete Dunne and Penta. They did put on quite a display. They were in there for quite a while too, deservedly so. A lot of back and forth. So it was a very good match. It's called the Dark Arts Gym. That's now you said Aleister Black and Selena own that. Yeah, I know, Rachel, you are looking forward to Goldberg. Dare I say you might even make your profile picture Bill Goldberg holding the Universal title. So that's cool. No, didn't miss too much there. Next up, again for the ad-free bit, CM Punk was with Jackie Redmond. I know, long story short, he was talking about eliminating everybody in the Royal Rumble, taking shots at Cena, taking shots at Roman, and basically anybody could get it. I think he even said he would eliminate Hulk Hogan's dusty ass, something like that, and end Hulkamania forever, something along those lines. Long story short, I would not be surprised if CM Punk won the Rumble. Again, CM Punk, John Cena, as I think one of you mentioned in here on TikTok when we were doing the watch along, either or I see winning the Rumble or Elimination Chamber. But we'll have to wait and see, obviously. 2 weeks away. Wonder when Cena will be back. Again, I would not be surprised to see him on Monday Night Raw as well, Rach. The final Raw before the Royal Rumble next week. So a lot of the heavy hitters will be there. That's why Logan Paul will be there. Roman, we'll see what leads to Goldberg. Would not be surprised to see John Cena as well. All these guys that started out the month are going to be the same guys that collectively finish up the month, leading to a major weekend in Indianapolis. So CM Punk was meant to win last year. Yeah, I hear you. Well, that I had Punk picked. I had Punk picked last year. Santos. He was my pick, and it was close, but no cigars. Two ain't gonna do it. So Cody went back to back for the first time in a very long time, alongside the company of Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, and then Cody. So, I mean, hey, good for him, man. I was surprised Cody had even won the Rumble that initial year in 23, and then when he went back to back, I was shocked. So good for him. He got it done. He finished his story at WrestleMania 40, and the rest was history, man. Lord, don't say that. Don't need to see Punk winning. Blah. I know. This is collectively, obviously, which I have known for months. Not really much of a CM Punk crowd in here. You need your Tammy Tonga to stick up for Punk. But hey, man, it's just the way I see it. Punk is going to end up with the belt from Roman before the year ends. Fear from Heyman, possible Heyman heel turn. Yeah, we got to figure out what that caveat is with Paul Heyman and what's going to happen there. See him get so over considering he lacks talent. Yeah, I definitely see him in a big spotlight, getting a major opportunity at WrestleMania. Will he necessarily main event? I don't know, but could I see it making up for lost time and last year and him and Seth, who would have had a great title match, I would assume? Yes, that's why I would not be surprised if Punk and Cena end up being the guys who make it out of Elimination Chamber and Royal Rumble. We'll see. We'll see. Now, we had a brief War Raiders promo. Again, they go up against the Judgment Day next week, defending their tag team titles. We then would see Pure Fusion Collective, PFC, Zoe, Sonya, or Zoe and Shayna. I thought I saw all three of them wrestle at one point tonight. Were they utilizing all three of them? I know Zoe and Shayna were definitely in the match. Either way, they were going up against Damage Control's Dakota Kai, Io Sky. Damage Control got the win. Fun match. We've seen these two teams go at it for months now, dating back to the early fall when Damage Control returned onto the scene. initially with Kyrie and Io, and then Dakota obviously returned. And so, Damage Control reminds me a lot of New Day in the sense of it always felt like they were missing a member. Somebody was either injured or they always had something going on. But they were always able to pick back up in the tag team division. If Big E was out, they had Kofi and Xavier. If Xavier was out, they had Big E and Kofi, and so on. And that's what it is here. Asuka's out. We have Kyrie and Io who return. And then, if Kyrie's not around, then they have Io and Dakota come back. So, hey, whatever works. They made it. They made it happen. Io got the job done here. And so that was that. And then this pretty much led us to our main event. Again, another show that ended before 11. This ran a little later than last week. This might have been like 10:35, 10:38 territory. Last week ended pretty much abruptly at 10:30, which, again, most of us, no complaints, right? We watch a lot of wrestling. And so, look, if it's going to end a little early, and whether we could hop on lives or get some rest or whatever it is, we'll take it. So here we had Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins in the main event. Obviously, WrestleMania 40 rematch. And we're wondering, is Seth going to eventually end up joining the dark side? Is he going to be like a Drew McIntyre or a Kevin Owens and turn full-blown, full-fledged heel? He's been teasing it for a while now, although tonight he seemed like he was in one of the happier moods he's been in months, until the end, right? Until the end. So late in this match, Seth goes and says to Drew, you questioned my integrity, blah, blah, blah. And long story short, this was a great match, but suddenly Seth was able to roll up Drew McIntyre for the 1, 2, 3. So I was a little surprised at the outcome. I thought that Drew winning this match would just lead for Seth to just become more and more frustrated, and whatever that may mean, to eventually get him to turn heel and so on. So we got a post-match attack. And the problem with this, with Sami Zayn coming to the aid of Seth here, is that first we got a Claymore to Seth Rollins, first of all. But the problem here was that when Sami Zayn came to the aid of Rollins, it worked out for a little bit. But we got an accidental haluva kick by Sami Zayn to Seth Rollins in the corner, which obviously ain't good. This led to a very disgruntled, unhappy Seth looking up at Sami as the show went off air. And so when Seth does inevitably turn heel, because it looks like it's coming sooner than later, I feel like Sami is going to be the guy that he ends up turning heel on. So let me get to a couple comments here. Punk is going to end it with, okay, let's see. You want Roman or Cena or Seth winning the Rumble? Okay, so are they putting Punk and Rollins on the back burner? It seems that way. It seems that way, Miss J. It seems like they're waiting for a later date. They definitely want to. I definitely feel as if they want to showcase the remainder of that feud spring, summer. Now, whether that means Mania, whether that means it concludes at a SummerSlam, all things I could see happen. But they're definitely trying to just focus on what is Seth going to do mentally, what's his intentions, what side is he going to turn to literally. So I kind of like the fact that that's happening and taking place now. And so they'll definitely get back to Punk Rollins. We know they're far from finished. See you next Monday, maybe going till 11. Yeah, sure, Rachel, absolutely. Especially a go-home show leading to the Royal Rumble later that week. So when are you doing boxes again? We need redemption. Yeah, we do need redemption for how we were shut down on Saturday. That's for sure, Miss J. We'll figure it out. Probably sometime in February, but we'll definitely have to do so. Santos says, Seth Rollins, the unofficial second wife. Yep, that's for sure. That's for sure. Boxes with topics. Yes, so I'm going to hang here for about 5 more minutes, guys. Any questions, comments, concerns regarding Raw this week, thoughts, feel free to discuss it. Anything that transpired tonight, feel free to drop it in the comments. Otherwise, guys, thank you for staying with me these last 45 minutes. And for those that are with me on TikTok, watched along earlier, thank you. Be sure to subscribe. If you're not subscribed already to my YouTube, go subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, X, as well as Facebook at Turnbuckle Topics, TOPIX. And again, please, if you're in here and haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for hanging on this Monday night. Santos says, because Seth is not the man, as we know. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it took me a minute when I was reading that. I said the second wife, but yes, absolutely. The man, big time Becky Lynch will be back for the Royal Rumble, man. As well as Charlotte, Alexa, who knows the status of Asuka. I don't know her status, but I can't wait to see her return. And I'm excited. Let's see. Oh my God, you didn't still get your final send off because of TikTok. Plus, not everyone came in. Yeah, you're right, Miss J. You're right. It's true. As Kurt Angle would say, it's damn true. So, thanks for hanging with me, guys. Gonna hang for a couple more minutes. Feel free to chop it up, even amongst yourselves. go for it. I'm glad to see a lot of the TikTok gang is here tonight. Speaking of Kurt Angle, why not throw his song on for a minute? Let's see. Do you believe that WWE needs some more darker stories for Penta and Aleister Black? Yeah, I mean, I would say that I'm personally, I'm totally for that, Santos. I'm totally for that. So I'm totally on board for that. I think WWE is in drastic need. As much as they're clicking on all cylinders, pretty much. They need something that's going to be gripping from, a dark storyline standpoint that I'm actually going to believe in and be immersed in. The Wyatts was very theatric. It was fun. Obviously, the Wyatt Six. It's more theatric. It's fun. Even from their initial debut, it's very just theater-like, theater-esque. And same could be said about Karrion Kross. Like, he doesn't give me this vibe of an absolute threat. Like, oh my God, you used to certain talents, certain wrestlers, you used to shudder at the thought, whether it was Taker or Kane early on or others. There's nobody I'm really like shuddering to, So I hope they bring a guy like Aleister Black back, and he is an absolute, just scary. You know what I mean? Like just absolutely scary. So it doesn't always have to be a physical presence that's scary. It could just be the way a certain wrestler or star moves about in character. So it's funny. I have a friend that watches wrestling since he was young. That's our inside joke. He is Seth, and I'm back. That's great. Oh, okay. It makes sense. That makes sense. Look at that. Look at that. So yeah, we definitely need we need some different darker characters that we could sink our teeth into. So Final Testament, sadly, was not it. We saw glimpses as far as them maybe being a threat, but they made AOP a joke since their return, an afterthought. And where are they? And Karrion Kross, again, 1 week I think I'm going to believe in Karrion Kross. And then the next week I'm like, I don't know. Then he just feels like a realistic himself. It was his first name, Mike. It just feels like Mike is on TV. But I'm not really getting that vibe where I should be, feeling fear for my life or afraid, like, oh man, this character is gonna run through the division or something, or stuff like that. You know what I mean? We've all been fans long enough to know what we're talking about. Yes, we need that. Yep. Absolutely. I just want to see that old school Aleister Black. Yeah, absolutely. Where he rises, like what they do with the PLEs, where he would like literally rise up with all the immersed in all the candles and stuff. I'm excited. I hope that theme hits again. If Aleister Black, if and when he's coming back, I hope they bring back that theme. I hope they don't give him some generic mumbo jumbo that we're like, really? That's what you bring him back with after almost 4 years? Come on, man. So, yes. Yep. Definitely. Phenomenal song. Again, I really hope they don't touch his theme song, man. I really don't. We've seen it happen countless times over the years. Too many people, they either give them a completely new song, or more times than not, when they alter the song, it's just not the same. Even like with Johnny Gargano's is a short example. They altered his theme song a year ago or so. It was terrible. Rebel Heart was phenomenal on NXT. I don't know why they did that. The way they hyped up the Wyatt Six, I thought they were going to be more darker than they are. Yeah, I agree, Rachel. I agree. And again, the Wyatt Six, I really didn't care if they ever won a title. A lot of people wanted Bo, rightfully so, to win a singles title in the mid-card, or one day, could he make it to the world title? I didn't think so, but I said, hey, you never say never. Or who's going to win the tag titles? Will it be Rowan and Gacy? Will it be Gacy and Loomis? Loomis and Rowan? Will Nikki, win it, get into any kind of title hunt? Tag title, now maybe a mid-card, world title. I mean, none of them needed titles, but they do need to feel important, because if I'm watching this show too, especially 3 hours, like, I want to watch stuff that feels, like I should be watching it, not something I could just easily read the next day and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, like they did to Mustafa Ali, right? When he was just Ali, or Austin Theory when he was just Theory. That was the Vince McMahon thing, where he's like, they don't need the full name. We'll just give them one name. Hopefully Aleister Black coming back to the WWE again soon. Yeah, Sean, I agree with you 100% on Aleister Black. Goldberg, I could live without, but Aleister Black, absolutely. Rebel Heart was phenomenal, Miss J. Can they legally play his old song? Well, that's a great point, Santos. I hope so. Again, that's one of those things where, right, legalities come into play, and maybe that could be one of the reasons they're prohibited from doing so. But, man, I hope they could work around that if that's the case. White Six are getting lost in the shuffle. Rachel, that is because they are. They absolutely are getting lost in the shuffle. It's not maybe. They are. They don't know what to do with them. And more times than not, when they get moved to the B show, which obviously SmackDown is definitely the B show now, At times, it could be argued as the A, even when it was on Fox for a little bit. But now that they're on Netflix, forget it. So like when a lot of these people are quietly going to SmackDown, not all, but some, it's like, okay, they're kind of the afterthought bunch. We're not quite sure what to do with them here on Monday Night Raw, so maybe we'll figure something out. Maybe I'll give them a couple more weeks of vignettes. Maybe they'll show up actually in person in March. It's like, but who cares at that point? You know what I'm saying? So, and if we're not going to care about you on the road to WrestleMania, I'm sorry, man. That's not a good look, especially if you guys haven't been together on TV a full year. You know what I mean? So, so we'll see what happens there, guys. But hey, man, this has been a lot of fun. Look, we're getting done before midnight. That's pretty good. See what happens when Monday Night Raw ends almost a half hour early. That's pretty good. But guys, any comments, concerns, questions, feel free to talk about it. Discuss it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll probably wrap up soon. You know what? I'll hang with you here because let's make it a full hour. Well, I'll still get out of here before midnight. What are we at? 52 minutes or so? Yeah, let's make it a full hour. If you guys got to leave, by all means, but I'll hang with you. How much rum and coke did you actually have that night? Oh man, those were delicious. They were going down they were going down as smooth as this this bottle of Pure Life water. 2.5, maybe 3. Definitely, they were good. It wasn't about how many I had, Miss J. It was about how strong did I make them, and that was the finishing touch. And I could use some of that popcorn. Yes, not enough, Santos, right? Yeah, I could use some popcorn. Is that a popcorn emoji? I could use something to snack on. That was a night. Yeah, that was fun, man. I mean, when I've never streamed on 3 platforms in one night. That was fun. Back to back, not even at the same time. TikTok, I guess we'll count TikTok. That was a half hour. TikTok, YouTube, and then IG. That was a lot of fun. That's one for the record books. I want to see Joe Hendry on Raw at the TNA World Heavyweight Championship with him against John Cena. Okay, that'd be great. That'd be great. Hey, regardless where it happens, if we get Cena and Joe Hendry in 2025, hopefully while Hendry's champion still, I think it would be even more important if it was on TNA. But obviously, I get why it would be great on a Monday Night Raw for a lot of reasons. I'd love to see that though. Wherever it would take place, that'd be a lot of fun. Did you ever find out? No, Rachel, I was telling Miss J earlier on TikTok. I have no idea what happened down the street. So hopefully all was well. I woke up the next day and I didn't see any kinds of crazy, tape or anything or chalk. So I guess that's good. Yeah, you did get us through it, at least my anxiety over TikTok. Yeah, hey, look, we collectively all got ourselves through that that very uncertain Saturday night, guys. So it was a collective effort. That's your host with the most. Thank you, Santos, man. It takes a good group. It takes a good group like you guys to make so thank you. And delete the TikTok. No, I didn't. It's absolutely did not. I heard that when people delete it, then it's no longer available in the App Store. Yeah, I went. I was live on TikTok tonight just for the last hour or so, hour plus. Just to watch along, and to remind everybody to hop over here, or whomever wanted to make their way over to YouTube. But thought about posting the screenshot on TikTok when it came back on. Oh, nice. What the of our final chat? I know, right? Final chat until about 14 hours later. That was funny. I'm glad I got that just in case though. I couldn't believe when the audio had just cut out. Crazy. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hang around for another 6 minutes. Thanks for hanging with me tonight. Again, Monday Night Raw was all right. Obviously the last few in 2025 were definitely better, but it's to be expected to a point because you're not always going to come in with that top tier momentum. You hope they do, but tonight was far from a bad show, but it definitely was not what we saw the last 2 weeks. So how rude, right? That's the longest 14 hours ever. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Are you ending in 10 minutes? Are you ending 10 minutes early? So I'm going to hit a full hour on live. So, yeah, so I'll be ending, I'm not the best at math. I'll be ending just before 11:50 here. So, yeah, I'm not going to make it technically till midnight. I'm not rounding up on the hour, but I'm going to round up on the hour on this actual live. So that's what I'm going to do here. Yeah, absolutely. So 7-9. All right. Almost made it to an 8, Rachel. Rachel almost had them at an 8, but she says, but no. She says, I'm going to pump the brakes. We're going to give them 7-9 tonight. Yeah, I give it 7.5. Trying to pass my time here at work, as you can tell. I hear you, Miss J. Hey, no one works harder than you. You're working around the clock. But whether you guys are at home or work, thanks for always finding time to chime in on whatever platform I'm on. I appreciate that. It's always good to have you guys here, especially the core group from the summertime. Hopefully Jey Uso beats Gunther for the heavyweight championship Saturday night's main event in Texas. Yeah, I would love that, Sean. I don't see that happening, but hey, man, we'll see. We'll see. I'll be tuned in. Wednesday off. Nice. Yeah, Rachel. I'll tell you what, for all the snow I shoveled tonight, I can assure you that regardless of what time zone we're in, I will not be going live to 3 a.m. Though I would love the company to talk wrestling. We're watching 80s NWA in Mid South. Oh, okay. Any notable matches, feuds, or any particular wrestler that sparked your that caught your eye, sparked your interest, Santos? Nice. Always a student of the game, man. I respect that. That's great. Good old Arn Anderson, huh? Have I tuned into Absolute's videos or lives? No. Now, is he only on TikTok, Miss J? Is he on here? I haven't. I've seen his content, absolutely, but I have not. I've seen his interviews and stuff as well. Yeah, I talked to him 2 weeks ago when he was talking about, when I was stepping away from doing the live reviews for a bit, at least on TikTok. Nice. Awesome. Midnight Express. Very good. Nice. The Absolute's great, man. Remember we first had him on in what was it, September, October? We had a great time when we were doing boxes that night. So good dude. Reviews with independent wrestlers. Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea. A lot of good indie talent, man, all throughout the world, not even just the States. And it's amazing. One day you see them in a crowd of a couple hundred, and then a year or two later they're in front of thousands or on TV in front of millions. So you never stop, man. Never stop grinding. Weekend warriors. All right, I hear that, Santos. I hear that. Absolute. Was he? I don't know. I can't confirm that. I'm not sure about that, Miss J. Your cat's causing all kinds of ruckus over there, huh, Rachel? Causing a ruckus at the top of the live, and man, I don't know, man. All right, gang, gonna head out of here in 2 minutes. Any comments, questions, concerns, hit me with them now. Otherwise, I'll definitely be back Friday night after Friday Night SmackDown, as I promised. And hopefully I'll be able to hop on TikTok sometime throughout the week. I'm not sure when. Don't have any reviews planned throughout the week, but we'll see. I don't have any watch-alongs or reviews planned, but maybe I'll pop on here or there. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button. Whoever is remaining in here in the chat, appreciate you guys for rocking with me on this Monday Night Raw review as we wrap up in a minute. Subscribe. Most importantly, hit the likes and all that good stuff from the in-ring part. Okay, Santos. Okay. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Good night, Nas. You take care, bro. You getting up there, Santos? You, how old are you, bro? You older than me? I think it's telling me I'm done. Oh, it filtered you out? What's up with that? Oh, man. All right, gang. Look, I'm going to wrap it up here. Hopefully I see you all Friday night immediately following SmackDown. And hopefully I'll pop on TikTok sometime this week. Check out further content. Oh, I got you by 2 years. 38, Santos. So I'm the old man here. Take care, gang. I will catch you soon, all right? Have a great night and an even better Tuesday. And again, I hope to see you all here Friday night immediately following SmackDown. And if I can pop on TikTok this week, I will as well. So, okay, very good, very good. All right, gang. Have a great night. Thank you for joining me for this Monday Night Raw review. Talk soon.